I just want to start this off by saying this game is beyond words better than I had anticipated when I purchased this game. Now, let me get into this by saying, when you play this game, you start to forget that you are actually, like, in real life playing the game. It's pretty immersive. Now, to think that the Assassin's Creed game is moving on to the Victorian era of England, it's crazy and all that London junk, but it really interprets it pretty well. Now, when you go into the city, you start everything off by, you gotta kill all the Templars, right? So when you're going in, it's starting to think, the story's a little stale. You're searching for a piece of Eden, searching for Templars and everything, just like the old games. But when you get into the city, it's a thriving new city that we have not seen before. Now, in Unity, in years past, we've had bigger crowds and just great landmarks, but this game, the city and everything, the world feels alive, more alive than it has in years past, and it's a great upgrade. You can tell from all the polish and work that Ubisoft put into this. It is a huge improvement to the years past of Unity. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into this. So the first thing I want to start off by talking about in this review is the fact that the climbing physics have been tweaked and made better. Now, when you're climbing up walls, it's going to feel a lot more fluent and like, somebody's actually climbing stuff. Now, in the past, it's been pretty good, but this is as much polish as it has been in any installment of the series. But there is little times in there where you will be stuck on objects and you can't move. Typical Assassin's Creed when it comes to having this open world that you can freely climb about whenever you want on almost any structure there is in the city. But for the most part, it works perfectly and seamlessly. When you jump over objects, you can have the seamless run through. Everything involving the free running is very fluent this time around, and I'm very pleased about it. It's a lot better than the past installments where you just hold a button, you run up a wall, and you can't do much. Though that was the time, it was advanced for its time, that got old, so this is a great improvement, and I know Unity had this in it, but with Unity, it was still buggy, obviously, because Unity was a bug fest, but this definitely improves on it, and I'm very pleased with how they accomplished it. So I feel that in this game, the combat has taken a step backwards from the past titles such as Unity, Brotherhood, Revelations 3, 4, Black Flag, all that. By having the combat be almost too fast and weightless. In my opinion, the weightless combat does not give you a sense of actual fighting. Now, what I mean by weightless is when you're striking opponents or something, you feel like you're almost just slapping them with like a cloth or something. It's crazy for me to say, but that's how it feels. I've always used the joke with my friends that it feels like the Flash fighting instead of an assassin. Now, in past games, when you use swords or something, or any other weapon, it felt like you were hitting somebody, you were inflicting actual damage like you would in real life. Now, in this game, with it going so fast, it feels so weightless, it's not enjoyable to do combat. Now, the first couple times you get into combat, it can be enjoyable to watch or look at, but as you progress through the game, with having only 3 different types of weapons, it gets very repetitive. Now, you do have the cane sword, the kukri, and the brass knuckles. But with only those 3 small weapon choices, it can get very repetitive throughout the game in the later parts, almost making you opt out of combat altogether. But it also can add a quick, fun, little, fast style of fighting and combat. In different ways, it could be a good or a bad thing. But in my opinion, I really do not like this style of combat, and I wish they would have kept from Unity, but improved it from Unity instead of this. So, moving on. Now, improving on Unity's formula of the run and hold down a, B or A to vault or slide under items, they have really improved and polished this feature into this game. Now, saying that, I do have to, preface this by saying there are issues within the free roaming and free running. But with exploration being a big concept in Assassin's Creed, it is really helpful that they polished this and fixed most of the game's bugs involving free running. But I'd like to see it improved in later installments, but this is probably the most refined it's been yet. And I'm very impressed by it. So, with that being said, it is a big improvement over Unity's, which had a lot of bugs within it. And it's definitely a step up for the future. Hopefully it gets better going on. Now, the difference here is drastic. Having twins Evie and Jacob Fry added to the mix, you have a whole new perspective of characters and sides and views of what they're coming from. And having this sibling rivalry aspect added into it really improves gameplay and gives it more tension and just different humorous concepts into it. It's a really great idea to add into the game. With having Evie be the stealthy one searching for pieces of Eden, and having her want to take, back seats to everything and hit it from the shadows, you have Jacob on the other end who wants to fight everything up front. He wants to go and kill all the Templars. He wants to run a gang. He wants to do all of these hands-on, while Evie wants to do things from the shadows and not get caught and all these other things. But having them pair together is really a great step forward with the franchise. Now, the main villain, Sterek, is amazing. Hands down, probably the best character in this game. He is very enjoyable. His voice actor is phenomenal. He gives the standard villain a run for his money any day. It is insane. Now, Sterek, he is this major Templar who runs London, obviously. But through this game, you feel like he is the most diabolical villain ever. And he is amazing, honestly. He's my favorite villain, probably, of any of the Assassin's Creed games other than Rodrigo Borgia. It is insane how good he is. With that being said, the characters in this game are amazing, coming from the side characters, the main characters, and even the lead villains. Everything just works together and is great all around. I do believe that this is a major step up in the franchise, with its brand new storytelling with the new characters, including the new and refined free running aspects. I really believe that this game should be played by anybody who wants to play a brand new game. I really enjoyed playing through this, and I believe everybody will. With that being said, I will see you guys next time.